I am foregoing the, as Carrie American Arbitrage would call it, the fake Mr. Rogers walk up from the other shit. For two reasons. One, I want to get to the topic, which is, in my opinion here, eBay having a little disappointing double standard. And it's something that's been commented on before, but I want to show you something, maybe you haven't seen this, that affected me a little bit, and then their response to it that doesn't affect me, but we've talked about kind of ad nauseum. And we have 34 sales headed out of here today, so I got to get to it for $1,415 and change. There are some really cool items out here that if you, and these are things you can find out there. I've seen people find similar ones before, and they will shock you with how much they're worth. Let's go take a look. So the topic that we went into extensively on the last video was eBay's change in their attribution system and the increased fees and everything. But what a lot of people don't know is they're really perpetrating a double standard here. So I think it is worthy of comment. This is a Michael Kors bag, and it does have a tag, so you think, oh, that's going to be worth a bunch. It's just a little canvas tote, like a beach bag almost, so it's really not anything amazing. $23.70. Plus shipping, part of a bulk buy that I did. So some of you may know about the old affiliate program, I guess is the best way to term it. EPN, eBay Partner Network. I've talked about it many times when I've gone to a few different conferences. I've talked about it. I talked to creators about it. There's definitely pluses and minuses to it. Over the years, they've made some changes, which makes it far less lucrative for people like me. I still use it, and I'm going to say all this first, but I'm going to get to a point when you contrast what's happening here with their new program with what happened when they changed their own ad program and how they charge sellers in the attribution system, which we've talked about ad nauseum. I'm not going to talk about that, but we already understand what that's doing. It's going to cost you more. But I want you to see the contrast in their own affiliate program. Instead of them collecting money on ads that they're putting out there for your item to sell, this is the inverse. What are they paying out to people like me, like you possibly, if you want to do this? And you now have the ability to do this, by the way. It was much harder in the past to be able to do this with the EPN program. Now they have an ambassador program that is much easier. And I actually like this change. This is a much needed thing. Most of the places that we do live selling, you know, in the past, Dib has this as well, where every seller has a link kind of thing. So there's different ways that you can make your sellers feel more a part of the process, which eBay desperately needs to do, in my opinion. But back to the original context here. I used EPN. I still use EPN. They kicked me off at one point for somewhere where I put a link that I wasn't supposed to. I didn't quite understand what I was doing. And then I got back on, and I still use it. Let me look at the numbers. I sparked my own interest because usually around Q4, I start to pick up the amount of money that I make using my link. Now, I don't do what other folks do. I just simply take my store and put it into this process and turn it into a link so that when people go through that, I make a little bit of money. And this month is pretty darn good, really high compared to what it's been in the past, and it's Q4, so it makes sense. $93. I've made $93. eBay has paid me $93 in the last 30 days for people going through my link. And to be honest with you, y'all, you know, we're out there all over social media. That link is everywhere. It's in this video, for instance. It's on the banner of my Commonwealth Picker channel, Commonwealth Flipper channel. It's over there on Facebook. It's on my link tree that's on Instagram. It's everywhere. It's just a link to my store, and people find my store that way. You can actually just Google Commonwealth Picker eBay store, and it'll come up as well. Don't do that, though. Go through the link so I can make pennies. So that was the old system. And now they have a new system, which I guess I'll tell you about really quick because some of you may be interested in it. And then I'm going to expose the, I guess you could call it hypocrisy when it comes down to how they are attributing sales, how they are charging for the attribution of sales for ads they put out or sponsored items, promoted items on their own site versus what they're paying. It may be worth looking into because the ambassador program is, like I said, it's much more accessible now than it has been in the past. And I think that was a mistake. And you can make money. You can curate a storefront. You can make money by driving traffic to the site to your own items. There's different ways you can do it. You should check it out. I think this was a good change. I'm not here to criticize eBay every day. I usually don't. I just have had a major criticism lately. Scooby-Doo 766 on that one. So a good change. Kudos to eBay. But we've been talking about this attribution system. And listen, eBay has the right to do with its business what they choose to do. But we also have the right to call them out when they want to redefine the word attribution without the clarity that was needed, or simply just not use the word attribution. But we've talked about that ad nauseum, so we're not going to do that. But just think about it. In this new system, they talk about a click coming through a sponsored ad, and then if somebody else buys this item, or that person buys the item in a 30-day window, they're going to charge you. Well, the ambassador program, I know the EPN program is like this. That window is much, much, much tighter. And if the attribution should be 30 days for eBay to charge you, I think the attribution should be 30 days if you bring somebody to the site using a link that they're providing in this ambassador program. Why shouldn't the rules be the same for both of us? It is currently 24 hours. So there's only a 29-day difference. You know, what's a day or two between friends? It really just adds to the argument that their logic is, well, there is no logic here. Let's just be honest. It is about the money, and I get that. I'm perfectly okay with things being about the money. But the way you attribute things should be, you know, we should use the real definition here. Aflac squeeze stress ball ducks. Nothing amazing. 12 bucks. I'll also say that they gave people like me in the EPN program a 2-day heads up that they will be paying us less money, where they at least gave you a few months in advance to tell you that they'll be taking more money when they promote things. You know, I sold, this might be the last one of these. We just piled a bunch of Betty Boop in here. These things are pretty cool. Super heavy too. There it is right there. I knew it was right here. It was the end of the road for it. No, maybe there is one more left. What is that? I don't know what that is. This is what I'm looking for right here, I think. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I gotta keep digging. I'm gonna put the camera down. All right, I found it. We did really good on a lot of these things from the Tortugas down there. Just sold one the other day. We sold a bunch off months ago. This isn't the best one, but we're still making money. They had them like $5 a piece. And then I bought them all, and I can't remember how much, but it was probably no more than $2.50 a piece. So even on the worst sale so far, $13.96 plus shipping, we're making money on the worst one. And there were some in there that we were selling for $80, $90, $100. A bit of a side note, and of course always chime in down below with your opinion on this. But on a bit of a side note, you know, a lot of us who do what I'm doing right now, and a lot of you watching do the same thing, we are promoting eBay. Now, this video in particular isn't, nor was the last one, nor was the one 6 times ago. But 99% of my videos do. We don't usually criticize eBay unless there's some kind of an issue. And my picking channel, for instance, I don't talk about these topics, and it is a constant advertisement for eBay out there. They've been enjoying that for quite some time. The EPN, you know, make me a little bit of money. I'm happy for it. But it generates quite a few sales, not just sales of my items. And that's true. And you watch this channel, I talk about viewer sales all the time. Well, how do you think they saw it? Do you think they were looking for that item and they went and bought it? They saw it and then wanted it because they saw it. That is great advertising. And there's a lot of us out here who do that. I would think that they would want to keep that going for a very long time because it is very cheap advertising compared to doing real advertising. And we make sales all the time. Some people hate it. Some people criticize me for it. I don't have a solution for it. I mean, I guess I could put the videos out and then not list that stuff until the videos kind of died out and then list it, to be fair. I mean, but that's just a silly business practice. But I oftentimes will sell an item. I have it listed for a few days, a week or 2 weeks, whatever. And then that video pops on Commonwealth Picker and it's sold. That's not an advantage that most people have. I respect that and I understand that, but it is truly free advertising for them. And so you would think that that would be something they would want to preserve and protect, but maybe they've moved past that part and are just looking at ways to extract. This isn't a sexy sale right here, but we have some coming up. I can't wait to show you. Some of these are awesome. This one, right, I have this little rule of thumb with brands like J. Crew. Now, this does not apply to all brands. A lot of times if you get something Michael Kors would be a little bit more. There's no MSRP on there, but that's not the best Michael Kors bag. You know, if you have this really high-end brand and you find something new, first you should suspect it's fake. But after that, you got to figure out what you're going to pay for it, right? And comping things sometimes takes a while. If I find a J. Crew shirt that is brand new, which this was, we took it out for the picture. It's got a tag on there. MSRP for a brand like this, I usually say cut it in half. Cut the price in half, because that's what usually they would actually sell it for. They usually don't get retail. Well, this depends on the brand, I suppose. So we're looking at like $45 here, and I try to pay 5% of that. So we're looking at $4.50 is the most I would pay for something like this. $5, of course. I would hope to pay less, because a lot of times they just don't go for that much money. This one didn't either. $16.59 plus shipping. I've been selling a lot of boots lately. Very happy to be selling them. It typically happens this time of year. The boots start to sell a little bit more for me, and then by spring I've got a slightly empty bin. Well, I don't know about slightly empty. There definitely is room in there, and in the spring, late spring, early summer months, there's very little room. This was an incredibly fortunate buy at a sale not far away from my house, which doesn't happen that often. And I saw these sitting there. I'm like, those look like nice boots. I'm like, how much for the boots? Because you could look at a nice pair of boots and be like, yeah, if it's $5, I'm going to grab them. I don't even have to clean them or anything. And then I looked inside and they were Ariat, and I was like, oh, here we go. So $5 into 70 for those, plus shipping. Sold a few cameras lately, and I know why. I had a huge buy earlier this year. I think in probably late spring or so. I'm not quite sure. And we sold a ton of cameras. We listed a ton of cameras. They all didn't sell. But it's gone past 250 days, so the ones that didn't sell hit that 30% off sale. And so the cameras that we have been selling, make sure that's the right one, have been from that lot. And I think this one is too, because they're now 30% off, and now they're out the door. $51.80. I bought a bunch of cameras at one place for $1 a piece. Mind-blowing. $51.80 plus shipping. All right, here we go. We got some puppies. Oh, ready for the treats. Where's your brother? He must have saw something out there. You're going to get his treat too. Concrete sweater. I actually thought these colors were cool enough that it would, I bought it for $1, that it would sell it. But it didn't. So this one waited to go on clearance as well. $18.16 for that sweater. Plus shipping. Here's another sale that's been hanging around for a while. I had 3 straight 30% offs here. So, which is fine. That's kind of the way I have my system. You get a lot of those that sell long before, and some that wait. This is an MP3 Roxy. This might have been in a free box. I feel like my dad picked it up out of a free box. $17.46 plus shipping. It's actually kind of cool. LP to MP3. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm not so sure how many people would want it, but let's see here. Ooh, that sounded loud. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty on the Sting. Just a few left. And they're selling when they get down to the nitty-gritty sometimes. $15. There's 2 of them. $15.32 for those. I think 2 pop sales in a row here. Well, not in a row. 2 out of 3. Because I didn't buy these. But he grabbed them because he said, you know, I don't know about that system or anything. And it's not a good system. But he said there were so many games, I figured there was some value. And he was right. Look at that. We got a cracked one, though. Hopefully that's in the listing. $24.95 plus shipping. Here's another little side point about the ambassador thing, the eBay partner network and all that. A lot of times the videos that people put out, they don't buy it from me. If they see something in a video that they want, I might not even have bought it, and they'll go and buy it from you. Assuming you're an eBay seller and you have it listed, right? So, like I said, free advertising. This might take a minute. I gotta get these out. My MCM bin back there is kind of full. It used to never be full, and then I started buying more and more of it because more and more of it was selling. This is a cool little tin set here. Not in the best of shape, but sometimes people want a little wear on them, to be honest with you. They don't want to look at something that's brand new. Set of 4. There's 4 of them in here, and they sold for $19.95 plus shipping. It looks like it's the first viewer sale of the day, or at least the first viewer sale that I see. Watching you and a few other resellers has helped me to grow my store. Thanks so much for all the tips and kindness you show others. Well, I appreciate that, Susan, more than you know. The next 2 items I'm excited about. I love both of them. One sold for a whole lot of money and one sold for next to nothing. But they both make me smile. I'm hoping it's in here. This is the logical place for it. That might be it. Right there. Yep, that's it. Master's flag. I think some of you may be shocked with this one. This is a flag I picked up at a sale. I went back to the sale the second day. I think I picked it up the second day. I've already posted the first video about a month ago. I don't think I posted the second one. I was going to save it for the winter time. At any rate, this Masters flag, I picked them both up. They were $5 each. No brainers. But I went home and I looked up the year. The year, whoever wins the Masters, if you have any Masters material that's dated to a year, a yearbook or something, if somebody wins the Masters that is really important, it has much more value. That's what happened here, y'all. 2019 was probably the first or second most famous win at the Masters of all time. Whether that was Nicklaus's in '86 or Tiger's in 2019. $250 for that one. Plus shipping. Had some pretty good little buys today. You know, 5 into that. And there was another really good one. $1 into that. And 5 into $250. Pretty happy with those. Alright, the next one I can't find. It's an ashtray. And I used to have an ashtray bin. I don't anymore. I just decided I'd buy so much fewer that I'd display them. You know what? It might be out in the other shed. Because it is glass. At any rate, I'll show it to you on film here. On picture. It didn't sell for much. Sold on clearance. Post. Think about that. A cereal ashtray. Crazy. This one, however, you might remember the Facebook post. I sold this one. I bought it for $1. Does not have the saber in it. But when I saw it, I'm like, is that legit? And sure enough, it was. 1977 Luke Skywalker. And this one sold for $19 plus shipping. Paid $1. And that's the kind of sale that just makes me smile. 1977, best year ever. Didn't take long to sell either. Buyer's note, hey Kevin, because it sold to a viewer. It was going to sell anyways. I was hoping to get the opportunity to purchase this when I saw you pick it. My family and I are big Star Wars fans. See, we didn't even list it by the time we had done the video. We listed it a little later. Big Star Wars fans, and it is always nice to get something cool while supporting you and your family at the same time. Thanks, as always, for the videos. Michael from Valley Forge Antiques. And you have bought from us before, and we very much appreciate you. And that one makes me happy. Thank you. And the next one's out here as well, but I don't see that other ashtray. That might have to be a hunt after this video because I'll get frustrated. You'll notice on the video. I don't like it when I can't find stuff. It's so rare. This one sold as well to the same person, Valley Forge Antiques. It is very flat, however, so there's a possibility it's up there somewhere. But I'm not looking now. And this one sold for $24.99. I like that one a bunch. Looks got like bees or hummingbirds or something in there. Plus shipping. Separate message on this one, so I'll read it. Kevin saw this after I bought Luke. My 4-year-old James is in his bug phase. There you go. I will love this paper, and he will love this paperweight. Could you please combine with Luke? Yes, thank you, Michael, Valley Forge Antiques. Yes, we will. If we ever forget to do that, my wife, when she comes in here and ships, sometimes leaves me a note, and I don't see it for a day or two. If I'm in here shipping, I do it immediately. And we'll do that here. If I forget, do not be afraid to reach out because I've been known to forget before. Sold a Juice King Ice Crusher. I don't necessarily recommend grabbing these. They got a little bit of an Art Deco look to them, though. They're kind of cool. And sold for $24.47 plus shipping. Sold some of this Fiesta ware, an owl and a witch right here. I think those sold for $50. And then the 2 pumpkins, both Fiesta ware, sold for $30. 50 plus shipping, 30 plus shipping. Sold a couple of Christmas ornaments really quickly. And my wife listed these ornaments. And she's like, did I list those too cheap? It's a lunar module, Apollo lunar module. And I looked them up, I'm like, yeah, you did. But that's all right. She listed most of these ornaments a little too cheap in my opinion. But you know what? It's Christmas. Is this a lunar model? 2 of them. And like I said, they both sold quickly. So these must have been listed a little cheaper than those. I think this is probably a $14, $15 ornament. And they sold for $12. So no big deal. We paid less than $1 a piece. So the fact that they're gone, somebody's getting a deal is pretty cool. Plus she's a space denier, or a moon landing denier anyway. So I made her laugh at that. The same place that I bought this from in bulk, I bought this right here, this Kate Spade bag. Really nice looking bag right here. We bought so much. We sold a lot of it over on Dibdit and kept a few really nice pieces for eBay. This one sold for $61.70 plus shipping. Got the ET bin down again. And I sent an offer out on this one. I think somebody asked for it or something. I can't remember, but it only sold for $4 plus shipping for those ET earrings. I'm hoping these books, looks like they are back here. Sweet. Sometimes you just pick up stuff because it looks cool and you don't even know if it's worth any money. That's kind of the beauty of having dibbed it. If I think it's cool, somebody else does. But these got listed. Surprise for Felix. Felix the cat, 25-cent book. And Heckle and Jekyll. Those sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Pretty quick too. Sold a John Deere belt buckle. I kind of wondered when I picked this one up. It was in a bundle deal, so it made it really easy to throw it in. I just didn't know it was a bundle deal at the time. It turned out to be an incredible bundle deal. We made a ton of profit off it, so I'm glad I threw it in. $10.49 plus shipping. Another John Deere item. This one went to Carolyn as well. So Carolyn, thank you. She's the one who bought the other service manuals. My wife read me your message today that you sent, and I appreciate it. Thank you for your story about your dad, and I saw you comment on Facebook today as well, so we really do appreciate you. I'd love to do something for you, and if we come across, I think I have a whole other box of this stuff. It's not as nice as that, but I'd love to be able to work something out with you and send it to you, even if it's at cost or something. I just got to remember where I put it. Next sale is just a couple inches away. Sand and Fog Pear Blossom, part of a big lot of stuff that we bought out. Sold a bunch on, dibbed it quickly, and saved some for over here on eBay. This one sold for $19.95 plus shipping. Hey, y'all, I almost forgot to put this in here. We have a $1 offer over on dibbeditcards.com just as a thank you for coming over and joining us. We really do appreciate y'all over on dibbedit.com and dibbeditcards.com. There's no games here, y'all. This is just, it's legit. I promise. This is our 17th and 18th times we've done it. I listed these for 10 grand or best offer. Nobody's going to pay 10 grand. So put a $1 offer in, and then we get the list generated, sent to us. We run it through a random generator, and one person gets chosen, and they pay $1. This case, there's 2 of them, so you have to choose which one you want, and we'll send it to you $1 free shipping. Dibbeditcards.com. Check it out. Check out this shirt. I don't even know where I got it from. It is an older one, though. Tsunami Survivor, Honolulu, Hawaii. Tsunami Survivor 2010. People will capitalize on anything, won't they, to make a buck? And so will I. Check out all the links in the description below, or go to commonwealthpicker.com and check them out over there with all the codes for anything that we ever talk about that you want to save a little bit of money on. Thank you. Appreciate it. This one is going out for $10.46 plus shipping. I try not to sell a lot of mugs, but somehow I end up with them. A lot of these came from that storage unit that we were doing. We use genuine Chevrolet parts. That one sold for $10.50. Nope, $10.46 plus shipping. Look, you're even out here in the dark waiting for me, huh? So these Lacrosse Foreman bibs, little overalls with tags, $40 plus shipping. No, there's a lot of stuff that we just listed. I just bought these and we just listed these. They were $1/4 a piece at a sale, and we got 4 of them. Flights of Fancy Owl Hoot. Put 2 together, and then we made a second listing as well because they had the same ones twice. So 50 cents into 22 plus shipping, and they sold fast. Just bought those down there in Florida as well. Still haven't sold all the blown glass. Sold about half of it already. And those are cool ornaments. Send me an offer on those if you want some. We'll give them to you cheaper. And Rode iPhone 11 salty tan, $15 plus shipping. Sold another Florida buy, but this one was from the last Florida trip. Went down and saw Mike Deathpile and hung out for a while, and we went to sales. And I believe at this sale, Breeze Flippers was with us. Moonlighting Seasons 1 and 2. Sybil Shepherd, Bruce Willis, sealed in the package. We picked that one up with some other good ones as well. That one sold for $25 plus shipping. Sold this Easy Bake Oven. We did a little inventory in here about a month ago. And this had been in here forever, but it was not listed. So I listed it, $30 plus ship. 3 more items sold since we started the video, so that's up to 37 sales for $1,564. Headed out of here today. And I remember when I bought this at the sale, I bought all of these ornaments, plus maybe triple that. The other 2/3 we have put or are putting over on dibbedit.com in live auctions, just to have a little fun, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to get them here if you're not over on Dibbedit. And I picked this one up out of the box. I paid $30 for all of them. I'm like, man, that's going to get us close right there. I figured it'd be $25. But like I said, my wife's listing them cheap. $20 plus shipping. So these right here, 20, 12, 12, that's $44 minus fees and all that stuff. We're in the profit right there, right on these items right here. We're almost there on 2. So we're already making money. I've already sold 20 or so over on DibDib. We'll sell the rest on the raid train. Are you going to see this Monday? Okay, I don't know when you're going to see this, which would be today if you're seeing it on Monday. And we're doing Christmas ornaments, Christmas gifts, brand new sealed, stocking stuffers, all that on DibDib. It's going on all day. So I think mine's at 11. At any rate, that's pretty good. I'm really, really happy about that buy. This next one is one of those, the first look at it and the price, it's like, and then it's like, wait a minute. I think this can really do well. I can't remember this. I can't remember what I paid, to be honest with you. I feel like they had it priced at 15 bucks. And I may have paid that. I may have paid 10. I can't remember, but how cool is that? Bronze. This is super heavy. And I found a comp for it as well. I'm like, somebody is going to absolutely love that little brass tree. Did I say bronze? Brass tree. And well, it's kind of bonsai looking, isn't it? This one sold for $71.25. So I think I paid 10. I really like that buy. Next one must be an old listing because I cannot remember the last time I listed a pair of jeans. It used to be my bread and butter. I've told this story many times. Not going to do it this time, but this is a double. And this is kind of, I mean, that's a bunch of jeans right there. And I don't even remember where I got them. They're Rigs by Wrangler. Is that right? So I might have paid $1 a piece or something. I'm not quite sure. They did not sell at full price. They did sell for 21 plus shipping, and at least they're out the door. All right, it is time to go pick Reagan up, so I'm going to jump in the car and go do that, and I'm going to ask my wife if she'll come in and start the shipping. By the time I get back, I'll help her with that, but just want to say thank you for everything you guys do for me, and I hope there's a great kickoff here this week to your holiday season. And we wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for joining us. And I can't wait to see you next time. Look at all the work we were involved in. You sold these too cheap, though. What?
I need stuff out of my house.
It's not in your house. It was out here. Now get back.